Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I woke up and no, it was no fuckery in the mailbox. There was no fuckery, but there was a comment because I was going to do something else, but I was like, let me talk about this. This is very, very different. Very, very different. Excuse me, bootstrapping, success, faith, working hard in the dark. Some I know about, some I know a lot about. And there's some people that believe that's like a unicorn that doesn't exist. There's always a gank, there's always another angle, there's always something else other than the hard work. I mean, really, there's more to it. It's got to be more to it, Glendon. But for those of you who are looking for insanely helpful stuff, click show more under the video. Tons of wonderful stuff to help you be successful. And as we sit here and we talk about this stuff, I mean, I'm just feeling some kind of way because I see people who accept defeat before the battle even begins. I see it all over the place. I'm just sitting there like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. And it just is somewhat kind of insane when I think about this because you have so many people who are capable of doing so many things, but they don't believe in the value of hard work. Just simply, no, there's some other way. I'm going to cheat my way through school. I'm going to cheat my way through life. And then one day you have to deal with the really real. And then it's, whoa, it throws you. You're like, how the hell do I get around this? Because I don't know. I don't have it. This is going to be different in the new setup that's coming very, very soon. But there's this book, How Children Learn, or I think How Children Are Successful, and it talks about this. And also helping you with success. That's something else I'm getting ready to do. The link is below the video, and it's going to say Hustle Labs. Hustle Labs is going to be a testing ground, and it's going to be free for you folks. Like, I can't pay for nothing, man. It's hard enough for me to pay attention, but Hustle Labs is going to be a little training spot where I'm going to test out ideas and concepts so you show up, you get the training. Be awesome. It'll definitely be awesome. So make sure you sign up for that under Hustle Labs and live event directly under the video. All right, let's get into it. Let me find the comment so I can read it because I see a trend here. It consistently happens because when I speak of social issues, and this is something I've done since 2009, it's just amazing how I know what it is because I was like, I've always talked about this stuff. I've always had things in there and I've always said certain things. And the thing is, my reach is bigger. There are more people. There's someone, I'll say something that will drive someone crazy. Like people want to debate me on personal responsibility. People want to debate me on the value of hard work. And typically, you cannot win if you're going to ignore things that are proven. All right. Now, here's my story. I am a self-made person. The books, the storage auction business, all this stuff, I bootstrapped it. I'll tell you, when I created Conundrum Media, $289 and a bunch of hard work. Now, let me tell you, let's just get in a time machine and go back to 2009. I was meeting people. There was my favorite little bar to go to lounge was Vino Libra. I used to hang out there. I would talk to people and I would say, look, this is what's going on. You should start a YouTube channel. Self-publishing is the shit. And I was telling people, I was just like, hey, you should do this. You should do this. And people like, well, can you guarantee me some results? It's like, no, I can't guarantee you any results, but that's part of the fun. People looked at me like I was crazy. People talk shit about me. A few folks was like, YouTube is for kids. What's your old ass doing on YouTube? This is the stuff that I went through trying to introduce people to the talk. Because see, this is the thing. If you're not a tech head, if you don't understand, if you're not feeling technology, you're putting yourself, your family at a serious disadvantage. I don't care who you are. This is the great equalizer. This sets stuff up. This creates so much drive and energy and momentum. It is insane what it does. It's insane. And people are just not feeling the effort and the hard work. Now, once again, let's go back, time machine, 2009. I'm talking to people. I am trying to educate people. I'm trying to put this thing together. And nobody's interested because there's not a definitive payoff at the end. Now, that's the problem for many people. The definitive payoff at the end. And that type of mindset will keep you poor, will keep you broke, will keep you disenfranchised. Yes, it will. It definitely will. Okay, for those of you who want to take advantage of the hustlerskungfu.com special, $450, and you get everything on the site, hustlerskungfu.com, and everything that is coming for one money. So be sure to get in on that before November 6th. The clock is ticking because we're getting close to that time. Let's talk about hard work. Let's talk about execution. Let's talk about working in the dark. I wrote my first book. I had no clue how it was going to turn out. I had hopes, I had plans, I had ambition, I had a thought process. I had a certain mindset of what I wanted to happen. That was going on. That was the deal. That was there. That was possible. That was going to happen. And didn't know. I was operating on faith. And not the faith that many people would assume as in God, as in religious faith. I was operating on the faith of, I can do this. I know this stuff is going to be successful. I just don't know when. That's what I operated on. A lot of work, a lot of time, a lot bootstrap. All right. Stop saying bootstrap's a nasty word, because this is one of the things, going back to the social issue thing. People hate the fact that I am evidence of many of the things that I say. As long as it's just theory or, some we can go back and forth and talk about that doesn't require hard work, doesn't require effort, doesn't require a concrete plan, we can talk about that all day. We can go back and forth all day. Well, this is my opinion, and this is my opinion. Well, what I'm giving you here is fact. Fact. Bootstrapped this company. Fact. Bootstrapped the upscale garage sale, which was the storage auction business. Fact. Bootstrapped GC Solutions, which was the furniture company. Fact. Bootstrap. You can bootstrap a business. Now, this is what's going to happen. In the beginning, it's going to be extremely hard. It's going to be extremely hard. You're going to work long ass hours. You're not going to make a lot of money. You're going to be poor while you're working harder than you ever did before. And for many people, I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Well, would you rather do it by choice or would you rather do it by force? See, this is something that's happening. Google this cat's name. His name is Dr. Andrew McAfee, MIT professor. He and his partner study employment. And he's been on 60 Minutes. He's given TED Talks. And we're hitting this point where there's just not going to be jobs for a lot of people. There'll always be jobs. They'll always have to have carbon-based life forms here and there. But the number that's required, not as many. GE at one point, I think, had close to 1 million employees worldwide to become $1 billion brand. Uber has contractors worldwide and is a $50 brand. Delta, which has 80,000 employees, has a valuation of $38 billion. Uber has a valuation of 50. You see where we're going? The largest hotel company in the world, Airbnb, owns no property. This is app income. This is app-based income. So you're having people who have the ability to build these huge companies, make crazy money. I'm not talking about stupid money. I'm talking about crazy money. Travis, the guy that owns Uber, can probably light up $100 bill every second and not even put a dent in his fortune before he dies. It's crazy money. This is what this new economy is producing. So while you're sitting there going, I'm not bootstrapping, I can't bootstrap, I don't want to bootstrap, that I can't do this, that, you're missing some opportunities because you're rooted. And once again, like I said, I'm not going to attack this person because we're having a civil conversation. So you can disagree with me, but when you come at me with bullshit or some crazy stuff that's rooted in jealousy, I'm going to come, I'm not even going to go after you. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say and keep moving. But essentially, you can bootstrap a business. I'm telling you, you can't. Now, I can't give you the outcome. I can't tell you how successful you will be. I can't tell you might fail. You might not make it. And then you take those lessons and you apply to the next endeavor, which you might not make. And then you take those lessons to the next endeavor, which may not happen either. And then you take those lessons and go to the next endeavor. And next thing you know, you got a successful company, because each part of the failure journey gives you data points for success in the future. But if you keep going, I'm not going to fail, I'm not going to try, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to bootstrap, you are delaying your success because you ain't learning shit by playing it safe. That's the whole deal. You ain't learning shit by playing it safe. Typically, it used to take 3 to 5 years for a business to get to a certain level of income. No more. I mean, seriously, 6 months to 24 months, or, roughly 24 months to 36 months, you could seriously cash out. I mean, it's just, but in the beginning, you're just not making a lot of money. It's just not happening. When I wrote my first book, summer of 2009, my trajectory was roughly a year. A lot of hard work, tons of videos. That's how many of you found me. And every day I was working, putting up videos. Some days I put up 5 videos, 5 about all the storage auction stories, and everything just kept going. And my partner, who was alive at that point, kind of questioned me. She's like, "Are you sure this is going to work?" I was like, "Yeah, it's going to work." When? I don't know. That was my answer. And I went back to work. You got to, because this is something else for a lot of you religious folks. I'm amazed at how many of you are running for Jesus, going to church, but absolutely have no damn faith in yourself. None, not even an inch. Because if it's risky or if it's somewhat outside of the conventional thing, you're not messing with that. Can't mess with that. Can't touch that. And you have to, it makes me wonder how many people are sincere in their faith, because you have this book, the Bible, and you have this belief of God, but you have no faith in yourself. Yet you're supposed to be a product of God, right? But there's no faith there. I have tons of faith in me. And there's tons of times I will put some on this sheet of paper. Here's my goals for the day. I will go ahead and execute, and falls flat. Right. And you know what my thought process is now? It's like, okay, what did I do wrong? Not bitching, moaning, whining, crying. That is not going to solve a damn thing. It's just going to keep you where you are. What did I do wrong? When you can start saying, what did I do wrong, and be honest and hold yourself accountable, forget everyone else, forget society. But when you can hold yourself accountable, you become godlike in your power to change your life and to facilitate and create change in the lives of other people, because you're taking what's called responsibility. Many people shuck up, and that's what bootstrapping is. Bootstrapping is, I am taking responsibility for my success. I'm not borrowing any money. And this is something else. I don't recommend people to borrow money for my courses. If you don't have the money, don't buy it. I think it's tremendously irresponsible to urge someone to go into debt to buy a course when you don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't want people going into debt to get my stuff. No. That's one of the reasons I changed the pricing, because essentially this is the deal. Where you are in your success journey is unknown to me. The other day, I think I can get to that real quick. Someone sent me a text, and it was a client, and it was like awesome because I posted it in the group, and I should be able to find it fairly quickly. I should be. You never know, because stuff happens. But let's see. You know, here it is. Throw that up there. This is from someone. I'm going to give you his story, because he bootstrapped this thing, and he put it up there, and I'm going to go even a little deeper because there's some more comments. There we go. All right, here's the message. Thanks for helping me get here. That's his stack that he operates. That's his operating capital. And as you can see, there's more money on the table. There's more money on the table. And this is a success story. Now, let's talk about this. It took him 5 years to get here. It didn't happen in a month, didn't happen in 2 months. It took 5 years of hard work, going through a bunch of bullshit, dealing with some family issues, but he kept the faith. He kept working hard, and that's his life right now. Now, the reason I'm leaving this up there is because many of you have never, and many of you will never see $10,000 cash sitting somewhere that doesn't immediately have to go out and pay a bill. I mean, let's just be real. Many of you are never going to see $10,000 cash. It's just not going to happen. You're just not going to see it. And I'm like, well, Glenn, I don't need to send $10,000 cash. Well, let's see. This is the thing. You do, because once you get to a certain level, you go out and you're paying cash for cars, and you go to the bank and you talk to the teller and you withdraw $25,000 to go pay cash to this guy who has a car for sale as a private seller. You're going to see more intent. You're going to learn that it's bulky, that you got 30 grand cash on you. It makes your pockets tight. You'll learn that, because when you get to that level, you'll be paying cash for cars. When you get to a certain level, and I'm not even talking about the 6-figure level yet, that only thing you'll have is a mortgage. You'll be paying cash for everything else, or you will buy it on the credit card and immediately pay the credit card off because you're a point monster. So I put this up here to let you know that he operated in blind faith, and he put in the work. He's been a client for 5 years. So essentially, when you want to be successful, stop with the I can't win language. And the I can't win language is that other people are getting these special advantages. Once again, it might be true. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to go stop their special advantages? Nope. Because this is what I've seen. The people who are getting the special advantages are connected. And when I say connected, they're connected with their families, they're connected with their communities, and they're connected with the government. They have a process, they have a plan. Now, can you duplicate this? Yes, but can you do it by going in? Well, you gave Lin C. Sook all of this, and I want the same shit. The Indians have been, they've got their thing. I just don't believe in begging for money, and I don't believe in begging for acceptance and begging for all this stuff that I see that comes with the poverty mindset, the lack mindset, and the loser mindset. Because essentially, once again, going into the social issues, a lot of people hate the fact that I bring it up when I mention any kind of race. If I could say, white people are fucked up, I don't get anything in the comments. I could say, Asians are crazy. I don't get anything in the comments. I got a video about an Armenian. I had one guy get mad. But when I say something about black folks that's true, oh shit, I'm the worst person. I'm an Uncle Tom. I'm a sellout. How dare you criticize black people? Well, what I can see from the video of fuck white supremacy, that there's a lot, not a handful, not just a few. There's a bunch of black folks who are just like me, who are sick and fucking tired of the bullshit, sick and tired of the games, sick and tired. So I'll continue to speak on these issues because I lived in the community. I know what the fuck goes on. And to keep acting like that shit ain't true is just going to keep the group behind. It's just going to keep the group behind. And they just keep going, well, no, it ain't it. No, it ain't it. And I'll say it. One of the biggest problems with the community is the preponderance of single motherhood, because you get kids who are missing critical lessons in life. And then they grow up to be adults who are dysfunctional. Yeah, I said it. This is the stats are all over the place on that. Kids need two parents. They do. It's a better outcome most of the time, not 100% of the time, but most of the time it's a better outcome. And you can't debate that. But you have folks who are going to be mad that I mentioned that. And they're going to leave nasty little bitch ass comments because, see, this is the thing. When I talk about business, I don't get that. I don't get those comments. When I talk about how to make money, put out a process, or offer a course that's ridiculously economical, that if you apply yourself, you could probably make a few $100s to a few thousand this month. Nothing. But when I say, whoo, that's a fucked up situation, oh, I'm the worst person in the world. Splendid. And I'm going to go back to what someone said years and years ago. When I was speaking about storage auctions, mostly in the first few months, then I said something else, and someone's like, "Hey, you need to stay in your lane. You don't need to talk about that other stuff." And I said, "Fuck you. I will speak about whatever I want to talk about. You don't tell me what to talk about. Who the fuck do you think you are?" And see, that's what gets real interesting. People online will say things that they would never say in real life to that person. Because there's a little bitch who said all kinds of stuff about me, but I guarantee you, if it was face to face, the bitch would run. He would run. This I know, because I think I saw him in the airport and he just took off. I'm not sure. It could have been my imagination, but I swear it was him, and he immediately took the fuck off. And I'm just like, really? And if I was quick enough, I would have pulled my camera out and I would have put it up on YouTube, but I wasn't thinking. But essentially, you can be successful bootstrapping. You can. I can tell you it's possible. It's very possible. You will work your ass off. And let's talk about, working in the dark. I work in the dark quite a bit. Trying new stuff, putting new stuff out, testing stuff. And this is the reason that I test so many things. When I put something out and I get feedback, I have numbers to my success rate, which is roughly 25%. And sometimes it's 30%. So if I do 100 things, 30 of the things are going to win. So if I want 90 things to win, I have to do 300 action items or 300 execution points. If I want 90 based upon my success rate right now, that's what I got to do. Do I like it? Hell no. I really would like to be able to do 10 things and they all be hits and I'm done and I'm chilling and I'm just, it doesn't work like that. For me, it doesn't. So know that there will be failure, there will be a struggle, there will be setbacks, and then you're appropriately aligning your mentality for success. Because the thing is, if you don't give up, you will win at some point. It's just when you will win, I don't know. I can't give you that. I can give you some parameters now, because typically, let's say you want to be a reseller and you want to make $400,000 a year. And right now you're starting from scratch. You have nothing but a pocket full of ambitions and dreams. And you work your way up with $500. That's your starting capital. you're looking at, depending upon what you're doing, 2 years to 5. 2 to 5, depending upon what you're doing. And let's talk about numbers. I'm in a lot of groups and I see these things. Okay. I see a lot of people who say, they're going to do $1 million in sales. Now, this is my thing with the Amazon. Now, it's real sales, it's real money. My thing is the profit breakdown. You can have 10 FBA sellers in the room, and they've all sold $1 million worth of product. And you're going to have one that made $250,000 net profit. You're going to have one that made $50,000 net profit. You're going to have one that made maybe $150,000. And it's going to be all over the place, because as your processes grow, because this is how Amazon works. If Amazon sees something that's really successful and is selling, they're going to go get it and sell against you. So even if you find that wonderful product, you have a time limit to how long it's going to sell well. You have a time limit. Now, if you have a proprietary product that you make that they can't get, then, that time is longer. But I see that all of the time. I see people who are posting those numbers of people like, hey, $1 million seller. And then I'm just like, it's I'm not going to say it's deceiving. I'm going to say that, as Paul Harvey said, what's the rest of the story? And then I also seen comments where people like, what's the net breakdown? People get mad. How dare you ask me what I was like, okay, you're putting up this big ass number, and then someone asks you to break down the numbers and you don't want to. That tells me the profit side is not that good. You know why? Because the people who are with big profit margins are like, hold on, like it's a big old dick. It's like, hold on. Throwing the dick on, yeah, that's my profit margin. It's a nice one. It's big and thick too. That's what they're doing. But the folks with the little profit margins, like the little dicks, you don't need to see my dick. I'm offended that you asked me that. I'm offended. You know what? Fuck it. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home with my little dick. And that's so. I see this shit all the time because, once again, I'm not a reseller, but I'm really affiliated with a lot of them. And I see this stuff and I'm just like, oh my God, this stuff doesn't stop. And when in 2009, 2010, 11, the resale community was much nicer, more cohesive. Then certain individuals came in and it's just been shitty. There's been battles and camps. It's almost like rappers, and it's like, reseller beefs. It's like, money flip is like, fuck, profit picker or whatever the hell, what, because all these names, I mean, I just see the names. I'm just like, oh man, that's kind of cool. And that's just, what the hell? But, you got reseller Rick, like, fuck profit. Fuck profit Paul. He don't know what he's talking about. He's a scam artist. I'm just sitting there like, I just sit back like this with my popcorn, because sometimes it's so damn entertaining. It's just like a car accident. You don't want to watch, but you can't help it. You just can't help it. But essentially, if you want to be successful through bootstrapping and you want to put together a business, you have got to stop operating on social narratives that are false. If you're a black person and you're a black male, I'm going to give you some stuff that I know to be true. I don't have a college degree. Dropped out, said fuck it. Thought about going back, and if I ever do go back, it would be strictly for an art degree, just for fun. It would not go back to be able to make money. There is one perception that, if you're black, that's white people, Asian people, Hispanic people, and other will not buy from you. It's just like, I'm black, they ain't gonna buy from me. Okay, if you sell a good product, once again, not excellent. If you sell a good product that does most of what it says, they will buy from you. Now, I fucked up. In the beginning. I made a lot of mistakes. Do you know that a lot of people who bought that first fucked up book actually bought other products after the fact? Because, in my writing group, they were talking about that, like, hey, you write one bad book, they'll never read anything else again. And I'm sitting there like, that's not true. That's not true. And I'm raising my hand like, yo, no, it's not true. And they're just like, no, it is. Shut up. Sit in the corner and put your pointy hat on, boy. And you can't tell people who have already convinced themselves that they're going to fail that success is possible. I'm learning that. You just can't. It's just like, I'm a failure. I ain't shit. I'm not going anywhere. You can't tell those people that. So I put up these videos and these AM hustles for those of you who reject that shit, who divorce it, who say, fuck that. I'm going to get my money. I'm going to sell to everybody. I'm going to have a product that everyone's going to like. Well, most people, you're going to sell to a certain segment, everyone's being too general, but there's a lot of people who are winners. I got one dude in the group. He makes this supplement. He's been selling on Amazon FBA, 15 to 20,000. He's a black person. I'm seeing it because that's the whole thing when I talk about that. And then there's this collective of community and I've had people approach me that I should just go into the hood and just mentor people. Like I don't have shit else to do in my life. It's like, you should do that. And like, well, why don't you build a business and then you go do that? Nah, man, that's too much work, but you already there. So you should do it. And I get these things and I'm just sitting there like, it's not going to work. I will say that typically younger males will listen to me. I will acknowledge that because I have a lot of kids who watch this channel, a bunch. I'm talking 12 to 18, a bunch. But I'd rather do this than to go into the school system. Can you imagine me going to give this talk in a school? Hey, my name's Glendon Cameron. I am an entrepreneur, and I'm about to tell you something that's about to shock your teachers. You don't have to go to college to be successful. And the kids will be like, ha ha, we were waiting on. Do you understand what happened? What's that hook on the Apollo? They'd be pulling the hook. Security. They wouldn't want me to go into a school or a college and tell the truth. No, just already know this. That's what some people are like. Well, change your message up. It's like, if I change my message up, then I'm lying. Why should I do that? That's why when I get that stuff, I'm just like, and I've actually been approached by a few people, and I say, well, these are my rules. I will tone down the profanity, but I'm going to tell them the truth. And if you don't want me to tell them the truth, and I give them some out, and they're like, oh, no, we're past. It's like, yeah, exactly. I do better here. I do better here because nobody wants me to walk in there and just start shooting up sacred cows and telling kids the truth. No. They want me to lie to the kids. Like, if you just go get a degree, any degree, you'll be successful. And then when the kid is 23, 24, maybe 27, several tens of thousands to even a few $100,000 in debt, still living at home, driving a car they can't stand, working a job and they're like, wait a minute, I've been bamboozled. I've been lied to. What happened? And they still, and some even just get sucked in deeper, go out and get a master's degree and get into more debt and still be working the same job. I mean, it's a pitiful cycle. It's terrible, really. It's very terrible. It's just terrible. It's a terrible thing. But today, I want you to think of ways that you can bootstrap your business or your ideal. And bootstrapping is starting with little to no money and just working your ass off, hustling your face off, hustling your ass off, hustling to your eyeballs. That's bootstrapping. And it's very possible. It's very doable. Now, a part of the comment was that people don't know what to work hard on. I would say that is a common issue that I get in my courses. And then I don't know how I can tell you this, but the unknown is just as great as it can be scary. You want to do the unknown. This is what happens when you do the unknown. Time Machine, 2009. I write this book. I had no clue those shows were coming on. None. This was my plan, to make 50 grand, then get maybe a book deal, and then write the real book. That was the plan. I was operating 100% in the dark, but I was hustling my fucking face off. I was here, I was there. I remember when I submitted my manuscript to my first editor who said, well, this is just fucked up shit. Let me rewrite it. And I'm like, no, I'll figure it out. So I took my shit back, picked my face up, went out there into the world and just started hustling and pushing and executing, hustling, pushing and executing. And I got to a point where I was making some money, and then boom, the shows came on. I didn't know the shows were coming on. See, when the point I'm trying to make to you, and this isn't about me being fortunate, it's about when you do shit that's unknown, you will have a higher level of benefit than doing the safe shit. I mean, I'll tell you, there was sometimes like I was playing around with pricing. I had the book at $59.99. Then I had this wild idea of putting it on Amazon for $100 because I figured if they saw it on Amazon for $99.99, that they would go to the blog and buy the $59 version, right? I was wrong. And you know what? I'm glad I was wrong, because more people bought the $99 version than people who bought the $59 version. I was sometimes doing 30 a day. That's what happens when you do the unknown. You can, I mean, it was like a blast, because I was just like, look at my account. Is that really? Wait a minute. I was asleep last night and there's money in it. Oh, there's some more. Who put all these little green dudes here? Hey, George, Grant, Ben Franklin. Just, and that came from doing something that I didn't know how it was going to work out. I had no clue. And I can tell you, you can do all that hard work and work harder than I can, and go nowhere. I'm not going to sit there and go, well, that's not possible. But this is the thing that you will still get out of the process. You will get data points, knowledge, and education that you can apply to something else. This is why you have to work hard. This is why this whole notion of, I'm not going to work hard, I'm trying to work smart. When they started Uber, they didn't know that shit was going to work out. Google didn't know that shit was going to work out the way it did. Amazon struggled for almost a decade. And it's like Bezos was like, it's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. Look at everyone who has been successful long term. You know, like people like to talk about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs got kicked out of the company that he started. A lot of shit went down with Jobs. A lot. There is progress and struggle, and many people are avoiding the struggle. When you struggle, you build your struggle muscles. You build your hustle muscles. You be able to become desensitized to bullshit. And then when something doesn't go your way, you're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to go around it, or we're going to go over it, or we're going to go under it, or we're going to put some kung fu on it. We're going to do something different, but we're not going to stop. We're not going to give up. We're going to make this a success. You have to speak to yourself that way. And this is the reason I'm doing this long ass AM hustle, because I'm sick and tired of comments that are predicated with, I can't do this because of X. Fuck X, fuck Y, fuck Z, and just be like, I'm going to do this shit. I don't care how long it takes me. I'm going to do this shit. I don't have all the answers, but I'm going to figure them out. This is how you have to talk to yourself, not, oh, I can't make it happen. Oh, this person has an unfair advantage. Oh, that's loser bitch talk. You got to change your inner dialogue. I don't know, but I can figure it out. It's better than fuck, I don't know. You got to talk to yourself that way. You have to be your internal cheerleader, because I see all of this stuff. And when I see these comments of this, especially with racism, yeah, racism is real. Racism is insidious. It's a problem. But it ain't my fucking problem. I refuse to make it my problem. I refuse to bring it into my house, pet it, and feed it. Many of you have walked in a puppy of racism. Now you got 5 ass Rottweilers biting your ass all day because you brought that shit into your house willingly. It's like vampires. Hello, may I come in? And once you say yes, and you let the vampire cross your threshold, next you know your neck's got 2 holes in it, and you're like 2 quarts low on blood. You invite this shit into your life by accepting it. I just don't accept racism. And I know there's people like, well, they ain't about if you accept it, motherfucker. They gonna do it to you because you just black. They're gonna, no. I've got too many data points that was like, not my life. This year, I bought a car January from a private seller. Didn't have a tag on it. So I knew what was going to happen if a cop saw me. I had no tag, no dealer tag or nothing. So I had my insurance, registration, everything all together right there in the glove compartment because I knew I was going to get stopped. got stopped. Unbeknownst to me, my license was suspended. I had on a hoodie and a gray skull cap, the Van Dutch one. It was cold. It was rainy night. Cop pulls me over. It's like, no tag was speeding. And then comes back. Your license is suspended. And I was like, no, it's not. That was my response. No, it's not. I was driving for Uber last year. I was doing all this stuff. I went through all kinds of stuff. She goes back to her car. She does some more stuff. And she's like, yeah, your license was renewed several times. This is when we had a conversation. I wasn't like, yes, ma'am, no officer, none of that shit. It was just, well, no, this is what happened. And yeah, I handled that in like 1998. It was adjudicated. Well, okay. Well, essentially, she's like, I believe your story. I'm not going to arrest you. I'm not going to impound your car. And I drove the fuck off, went down to the city of Atlanta, got that shit handled, and got it dismissed. Now, there are many black folks like, you got lucky. Okay, got another one for you. Domestic abuse, a domestic incident where I was attacked. I called 911. Cops believe me. Believe my big ass, muscular ass. They believe me over her who was like 5'3" and wilding the fuck out. Oh, I got another one. I got more. See, this is the thing. I don't accept that shit. I don't accept the fact that, ooh, they're going to do it. See, I don't have it. Read The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph E. Murray. Go to Amazon, get that shit today. Get the Kindle, start reading it and implementing this. You don't understand me when I tell you, you bring this shit into your life based upon the way that a lot of you think I should have been arrested and it didn't happen. It didn't happen because I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in karma. I don't believe because I'm black and fucked. I do not believe that stuff. And that's how I live. And those are the results. You have to change your internal dialogue on this shit. And that's why when I see these comments rooted in fear, lack, and anger and hurt and depression and jealousy, I get that. But the thing is, you got to Superman your way out of that shit and start thinking on a higher level of abundance. This is when I see what I call a lack-based comment. You lack faith, you lack evidence. I will say maybe you lack data points. I mean, I got data points that other people don't have. I have ownership data points. I've hired people. Oh, here's another one. I worked for this woman, my last job. One of the assistants, because this was when I was selling office furniture, she was racist as fuck. Treated me, and she was like the nice racist. She never used the N-word or said all this other stuff. But it was clear she had a problem with black folks. It was clear. And I was just like, fuck you. I'm here to get this money. You keep your racism in your office. And then, went to the owner of the company and it's like, look, she ain't doing what she needs to do. He's a salesman. Do it. And we got along just fine. And then over time, even though she was a racist, and I still believe to this day that she is a racist, she respected me. I don't want you to fucking like me. Just respect me. And when I quit, and she found out I had my own company, this racist sent me her resume for a clerk position. So when you come at me with that stuff, and I'll share this stuff with you because a lot of you don't know because you've never been in the owner seat. You never hired it. This is why more black folks got to start businesses. You got to start businesses. Yes, the shit is stressful. It is, but it's fun. The shit you get to do, when you're interviewing people and there's clearly a fucker on the other side that you're not going to have, but you're like, well, I need to interview people and let me just ask some hard questions. You just throwing hard. It's just different on the other side of the table. I want more of you to be on the top side of the table. Well, give me your resume. Well, pitch me. Give me reasons that I should hire you versus you going in there with the resume all the time. It's a different ball game. It's a totally different ball game. But you get people who just cannot fathom it. So, like I said, get the book. Matter of fact, I got the power. I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to leave it up here. Power. And I've recommended this book over and over again. Because what you believe in, what you dwell on, that becomes your reality. Let's see. I'm going to put it up here. You've got various versions. You can get the old ones. You can get, oh, here's paperback. Let's see. Here's a paperback. You know, if you got Prime, you get that real. Oh, it's out of stock. Let's see. There should be. Here we go. Now, this is the version that I read. Get it. I don't care if the book is tattered. Just go ahead and get it. Read it. Start to digest. This book is the reason that I have the beliefs that I have. I learned from reading this book that what you think about is of critical importance. So that's one of the reasons I go crazy. Like I said, the guy and I are having a conversation, so I don't really have to go off on him because he's someone you can talk to. So there's no point in just like going ape shit on him. But the mindset troubles me. It's disturbing because I'm beginning to realize, and I got a friend, I call him, you know, Dr. Dinkins, and we talk about this, that many of you have never experienced this stuff. And you're not going to experience this stuff if you keep thinking the way that you think. You've got to change your mindset. You've got to change how you do things. You have to. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy how you have to do this stuff. So as I do this, I just had an ideal. Let's see. Let me go do this. Let's go in here. And see, this is ownership shit. This is what I can do because I own this. No one, I don't have to ask permission to do this stuff. I can do it because I own it. Or I should say the family owns it. That's a whole nother thing. I'll talk about that when I start Intellectual Property Dojo. But what I'm going to do is make this course $15. This is a mindset course. So go back here and yeah, go ahead and get this course. Get the book by Dr. Joseph E. Murray and get the mindset course. I'm going to leave it at $15 forever and forever. I'm not going to change the price on it. And at least I can get you started with putting together your mindset, putting together how you think about stuff, putting together, I mean, seriously, just go ahead and get the course, start listen to it over and over and over. Then it starts to sink in. You won't get it all on the first pass. You'll get it on the second pass. You'll get it on the third pass. But I'm telling you, you change your mindset, you will change your life. You will seriously change your life. And that's one of the reasons that I have these conversations and talk to people because, you know, we all live in our own skulls. And I sometimes forget that many people, and this isn't me being elitist, haven't seen the things I've seen. Don't know what it's like to be in that ownership box. I'm telling you, this shit is nice. It's nice. And I want more of you to be in the ownership box. And you're not going to get there thinking, and like, once again, racism is real. Yeah, it's real. Sexism is real. Age discrimination is real. All this shit is real. But the thing is, how real is it to you? I live my life as if there is no racism. I know people like, you're fucking foolish. They're going to get you. Well, so far, the shit's been working out pretty well. That's right. I live my life as if there is no racism. I understand there's racism, but I don't really talk about it in the fact that it's going to fuck up my plan. I just don't, because you can't let the seeds of defeat just get planted in your mind. And that's a big one, because when I see a lot of these conversations, I've had people tell me, it's like, well, they going to get you. Like, who is they? Well, they going to get you. You think you safe. You live in a nice neighborhood. You make a little money. You think you safe. Now, I don't think I'm safe. I just know that I don't do shit to put my freedom at jeopardy. And, you know, in the near future, I got to go to New York. So we'll find out. We'll be testing that, because that seems to be the hotbed of police fucking folks over. I'll find out, because I'll be up there for some business. So essentially, do not have a lack mindset. Yes, you can bootstrap your business, and working in the dark is hard. Working, knowing that you're going to be successful without any tangible evidence, I mean, I didn't really get a lot of good feedback on this channel for months. I mean, seriously, I know for a fact I got 49,000 views my first year, and the bulk of that came the last 3 months of that year. You know, Gary Vee put it up there when he did Wine Library. The first 18 months, not a lot of people were watching him. This is reality. This is the ability. This is just how it is. And when you can accept it and take responsibility, the things that you can do are just crazy. So that's it. That's all I got for you this morning. Once again, the mindset course is $15. Go ahead and get it. Let's see. Because I'm gonna have to change some stuff in there because that was like a welcome package. But yeah, this is what you want. You want this stuff right here. You can just ignore this unless you're already, unless you buy the full deal package. But it's $15 and that's interesting. I like this platform. I've only been on it. This is my 3rd month on it and I'm still learning it. But yeah, just go ahead, get yourself that $15, start working on your mindset. And working on your mindset is a daily process. It's not something you do on the weekends. It's a consistent, ever going, every day, all the time process. You want to think of changing your mindset and creating like your operating system on your computer. It's always working. You just don't pay attention to it. That's how your subconscious mind. It's always working. You just don't pay attention to it. So you want to start feeding it all of this good stuff. I can win. I can be successful. I can do this stuff. I can be an owner. I can have what I want. I can earn this. You know, you want a house in the suburbs, you can get that shit. You want a condo downtown on a high rise, you can get that. But you have to tell yourself you can get it. You want to be free where you control all your time like I do, you can get that. It's about opportunity cost and paying them. That is the deal. That's what it's about. So with that, let me jump into this part of it. Let's hold this. And we're going to go here. Okay. And this is under the video. It's under every video. This is what you get for the Economic Ronin deal. That's what I call it. You get 19 courses. You get you get all this stuff. That's what you get. This ends November 6th. So you have almost 3 weeks to get it. Now, how cool is that? Yeah, because I extend these things because I understand in the beginning I was moving too fast. So I've made it 30 days plus, plenty of time to get in. And typically most folks, like 70%, sign up the last week. I don't know what that's about, but it just happens that way. All right, this is Glendon, and I will see you in the next session.